Welcome to the Live Streaming Musician, brought to you by LottaHype.com. This channel was created to help you overcome the obstacles you will face on your journey as a live streaming musician. My name is Tim Mahalik, and in this episode, we're going to talk about how to set up a basic live streaming setup for piano/keyboards. All right, before we get into the video, there is a link to download the Live Streaming Musician Blueprint, which has gear lists, common pitfalls, all sorts of tips and tricks. Just click the link below the video and download that blueprint so you have everything you need to get started streaming. All right, let's get into the video. All right, so you want to play piano or keyboards on stream because that's the cool thing to do, which I agree. That's why I made this channel, so I can help you do that. So there's a few pieces of gear that you're going to need in order to be able to do that. The first piece of gear that you're going to need is going to be a computer. Now, you're going to need a decent computer because you are going to be encoding video, which does take a decent amount of processing power. So just keep that in mind. There's a link to a few different computer models down below that are pretty decent and affordable. If you are looking to get into a computer, you could either buy a pre-built computer, you could buy a basic little laptop, you could build your own computer, you could use a Mac. It doesn't really matter which computer you use. It just has to be decently fast in order to be able to encode video in the stream to look good. All right, the second piece of gear that you're going to need is going to be a good internet connection. Now, you're going to need a connection that's at least 10 megabits of speed upload. Now, internet packages are usually sold by download and upload speeds. Download speeds are usually 10 times faster than your upload speed. So if your internet speed is 100 megabits down, it's usually going to be 10 megabits upload. Now, if you're going to be streaming in a higher resolution like 1080p at a high frame rate like 60 frames per second, you are going to need something more than 10 megabits of upload speed. I used to stream with a 300 megabit download and 30 megabit upload speed, and that allowed me to have enough headroom in my bandwidth to be able to stream at 1080p resolution, 60 frames per second. I currently now use a fiber connection, so I have 800 megabits down and 800 megabits up, but you might not have access to internet like that, and so your internet connection options may be limited, but definitely look into the ones that are available to you and see if you can get at least 10 megabits of upload speed from your internet connection. All right, the third piece of gear that you're going to need is going to be a microphone. You're going to be talking to your chat, and you're going to need a microphone. Now, you also are going to need a set of headphones because you're going to want your piano or keyboard sounds to happen inside of your headphones. You don't want them in the room where you're streaming because you're going to have a microphone that you're going to be using to talk to your chat. And so you're going to get all those piano sounds that are from the room in your mic if you're using something like a keyboard amp. And so you want your keyboard plugged in to your computer, and then you want to be able to listen to that sound through headphones. Now, I use Beyerdynamic DT770 studio monitor headphones, and I have a microphone on there called a mod mic. Now, it's really relatively inexpensive mic, but it has a little adhesive piece that you can attach to any set of headphones. So if you already have a nice set of headphones that you already use, fantastic. You can grab a mod mic and just stick that little adhesive piece on there and add a microphone to any existing headset that you have, and you'll be able to talk to your stream and your chat and keep the same pair of headphones that you already enjoy. So check out the mod mic, link is in the description below, but you will need a microphone regardless, and again, a set of headphones so that your microphone is not picking up keyboard sounds or music inside the room that you're streaming in. All right, the next piece of gear you're going to need is going to be a camera. You got to show yourself off. You're on stream. So what I used to use for a very long time was a Logitech C930. This is a 1080p webcam that broadcasts at 30 frames per second. Fantastic piece of gear, extremely affordable for what you get for it. I think when I bought mine, it was about $100. So you can check that out, and there's a link for that in the description below. That webcam is fantastic for the price you're going to pay. Here's some footage of me when I used to stream myself playing drums with that webcam. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? So for a relatively, affordable price, you can get pretty decent quality video. Now, I use a Lumix G7, which is a mirrorless DSLR camera, which is about $400 or $500. And then in order to take the HDMI out of that, I have to have a capture card, which is another $400. So my current camera setup is about $1,000, $1,100. But you don't need that to start streaming. You could use a mid-quality webcam and get away with it just fine, no problem whatsoever. Now, if you're streaming yourself on the keyboards, a lot of people do a dual camera setup. Now, you don't have to do this. Obviously, this is a basic setup video, but you could put a camera above your keyboards I used to do this a lot whenever I would do music production streams, and for that I would use a Logitech C920 camera, and that is linked in the description below. All right, the next piece of gear you're gonna need are gonna be some lights. Now you can see in here, it looks pretty cool because I have some pretty cool lights in here. But you're gonna want some lights because cameras can only perform as well as the lighting that they are provided. And so if you're broadcasting from a really dark room, your camera's gonna be struggling to make it so that you have a really high quality image that's being broadcasted to the internet. Now I have a link for a package of lights that I use down below. It doesn't really matter which lights you use, you can check those out. But you're gonna need a few different lights. Now in my live drum streaming setup, I use 5 lights in that room, and I still don't think it's enough lighting. So you may or may not want as many lights as I have, and you might want some cool colored lights like I have in my studio here. But regardless, you are gonna need some kind of additional lighting that's not just overhead lighting from the room that you're streaming in. So check out some of the links that I have below just to get some ideas of what you might want to put in your streaming setup. All right, now one of the most important pieces of gear that you're going to need is an audio interface. Now an audio interface takes the signal out of your keyboard or piano and it goes directly into the computer through a USB cable or a Thunderbolt cable or a FireWire cable, or do people even use FireWire anymore? It takes the signal from your keyboard and puts it into your computer. Now you're going to need a couple cables that are going to go from the outputs of your keyboard and are going to go into the inputs of your audio interface. Something like this is a Complete Audio 6. There's a link for that in the description below. It's what I use. Extremely affordable, very high quality for what you get. And it's got, I think this has 6 inputs. And so you can have your keyboards in a multitude of different inputs and be able to take them into your streaming software. That way you can hear your piano on stream or keyboard. Whatever keyed device you're using, people want to hear that. So you're going to need an audio interface to get that sound from here to there. All right, now this isn't a piece of gear necessarily, but you are going to need a way to be able to see your chat and the feed of all of your stream alerts, like when somebody follows your stream or when somebody donates to your stream. You're going to need to see that information, and you're also going to need to be able to see the chat. Now you can use a mobile phone for this if you'd like to put that off to the side of your keyboard and be able to see your chat and your stream alerts that way. Or you can get a secondary monitor like I have. So one of these monitors I have just set up for my stream feed, my alert feed, and for my chat. And my other monitor I use for music production or for other stuff. You don't have to have a 2-monitor setup. And actually, if you're streaming yourself just playing keyboards and not doing music production, you can get away with just using the main monitor on your computer, whether it's a laptop or just a single monitor on your computer. Just make sure you have your chat and your stream feed up on that computer so that you can see what's going on with your stream and stay up to date with all that cool stuff. All right, stay tuned for the next video in the piano keyboard series, which is setting up your computer. Now there's a lot of settings from audio to video to the encoding on your streaming software that we're going to go over. So stay tuned for that. There should be a link for that in the description or somewhere over here or somewhere over there, somewhere. Check it out. All right, thanks for checking out The Live Streaming Musician. Hopefully you found this video informative and enjoyable. If you did, if you could click that like button for me, that really helps my stream and lets YouTube know that I'm making cool stuff that you guys like to watch. Again, if you haven't already subscribed, click the subscribe button, bang the bell so that you get notified every time I put out another video to help you on your path as a live streaming musician. Again, my name is Tim Mahalik, and I'll see you on the internet. Thanks so much again for watching the video. If you haven't already, click the link below this video to download the Live Streaming Musician Blueprint. This blueprint is jam-packed with gear lists and all sorts of stuff that you're going to want to be aware of when you're streaming yourself playing music. Common pitfalls, all sorts of stuff like that. So click the link below this video to download the Live Streaming Musician Blueprint, and happy streaming.